Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Kentucky Esports Weekly, hosted by the University of Kentucky. My name is Nathan Stevens. I'm going to be your host. What you're going to be seeing in the next 20 or so minutes is going to be a variety of reports brought to you by some really awesome people. They're going to be telling you about esports news. You're going to get to see an interview, and you're going to go through some industry news and maybe some things you didn't know about Kentucky and what it has to offer. So sit back, relax. I know that we're all in kind of this at-home virus state right now, but sit back, relax, learn a little bit about esports if you don't know much about it, and let's get this thing going. So the first segment we have on our show is Quick Hitters. This is just short snippets of esports news as it happens around the world. The first bit of news we got in is ESL moving online for two events. That's ESL Los Angeles and ESL Birmingham. As reported by ESPN.com, ESL is moving two of its online events, the ESL Los Angeles and the ESL Birmingham, due to the coronavirus, and has further stated that they are working with Valve right now to come up with some event dates. As most esports events are going that route, and you're going to see a lot of esports events postponed, especially in this news I'm going to get to you today. I'm sure they'll find a presentation structure and begin using it to keep esports going on their end. Actually kind of looking forward to that. So they're not the only ones moving their events due to the virus. PUBG Mobile has postponed as well. PUBG Corporation said they will find a later date for the PUBG Mobile Pro League Americas and World Leagues as the world awaits for updates and the all-clear sign. CEO James Yang released a statement saying, "The health of our players, staff, and characters are our highest priority. While we're saddened to postpone our tournament, we're dedicated to ensure the safety of everyone involved." Smart move. "We also see this as an opportunity to mobilize esports, and we're working closely with our teams to further improve coverage of our servers around the world and Americas." Good for them on this. This is a smart move. I know PUBG is a big deal with any battle royale person. They've crossed it one way or another. But it's a good move. It honestly is a good move. It's safe. And the sooner we get out of this virus, the better we're all going to be. So now on to some more positive news. MTG announced the partnership between ESL and PUBG Mobile. Ha, what a coincidence. Those were totally not the same news press releases, not at all. ESL will help PUBG establish open competition events that will lead up to a world title for the Battle Royale-based game. Jorgen Madsen Lindemann, president and CEO of MTG, released a statement on the announcement saying, "It's a strategically important cooperation for ESL with one of the strongest publishers in gaming and esports worldwide, and shows our business continuity despite the current challenging time for society as a whole, and esports as a part of it." It's always good to see esports partnering up and growing, especially in the Americas. They need it very badly because we're kind of behind. So here we are. We're getting a good partnership. So maybe some news you've never actually been a part of, maybe because it's the fan base isn't exactly what. iRacing NASCAR Pro Invitational is still ongoing and is actually being very successful. iRacing and NASCAR continue the NASCAR iRacing Pro Invitational Series. After having to postpone their season, iRacing has become the go-to for a race fan's fix. After hosting NASCAR's top drivers at the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway to 900,000 viewers, by the way, NASCAR and Fox have agreed to continue the series moving forward. So iRacing is a world-class racing simulator used by all types of motorsports, if you didn't know. Fox and NASCAR actually broke the record for the most viewed esports event in U.S. TV history with 1.339 million viewers. Well, that 9 was going to be repeating. Winners so far include three-time Daytona 500 champion Denny Hamlin and Timmy Hill. So, and let me tell you, I watched a little bit of this online. I caught wind on CBSSports.com about a driver getting it, like rage quitting in the middle of it. And it was fascinating, and actually something I would very much watch. One of the reasons I think when drivers can talk to each other and really get to know what's happening, it's actually very, very competitive and neat to see. Though I know NASCAR fans out there are like, yeah, it's always been that way. But I don't know, just something more entertaining about the esports version of this. So check it out. So, other news, Bandai Namco Entertainment released an update for its Soul Calibur and Tekken Tour dates. And pretty much the update went like this: removed from tour until further notice. Bandai Namco Entertainment further commented by saying they are committed to delivering the best and safest tournament experiences possible in support of both the fighting games community and the greater esports community, which is always good. You always want companies to support esports. We want to thank our competitors, fans, and event teams around the globe for their patience, understanding, and perseverance as we combine our efforts to fight COVID-19 together. And again, much like the previously postponed news items up north there, it's the right thing to do. And everybody's been dealt with this hand that nobody expected. And here we are. So people are finding a way to do the same thing, but in a different way, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's esports news for the week. Let's talk industry news with Morgan Mulberry and Tyler Ralston. They are our reporters on the industry, so take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Morgan Mulberry.
And I'm Tyler Ralston.
And this is the industry news. Today, we're starting with E3 being canceled this year. The ESA officially confirmed last month that E3 is canceled from June 9th through 11th due to the COVID-19 outbreak. They made an official statement to the Washington Post, quoting, "Following increased and overwhelming concerns about the COVID-19 virus, we felt this was the best way to proceed during such an unprecedented global situation. All the consoles, including Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, are taking their events to online. Specifically, Nintendo takes action by using pre-recorded Nintendo Direct live streams. Xbox President Phil Spencer stated that they are going to put on digital events in the upcoming weeks. Sony is light on the details, but it is likely that they will take their own online approach for revealing new games and further console details. Other companies, such as EA, with its own history of individual events, or Ubisoft and Square Enix, are likely to also create their own online events or be featured in Sony or Microsoft's presentation."
And while we await these industry events, here are the currently known specs for the next generation of consoles. Sony is focusing on high-end peak performance as well as ease of use for developers at the beginning of the cycle. Meanwhile, Microsoft is focusing on consistent performance and increased storage space. Sony also seems to be open to allowing for certification of third-party storage add-ons, while Microsoft may be planning to create and sell proprietary add-ons. The short and simple version of this is Sony is going to let you go to any store that you want and pick off an SSD of your choice as long as it has their certification, while Microsoft will be manufacturing their own proprietary SSDs that they own, and you will be paying them directly for those add-ons. Aside from the console news, we also have Valorant. Valorant is a hero-based tactical shooter in development and being published by Riot Games. It is scheduled for a release in a unspecified time during the summer of 2020. This title features a bold new system to combat wallhack-based cheats, which display an enemy player's position through surfaces for the user's advantage. To prevent such cheating, the Fog of War system, as it's being called, stops a player's client from rendering or processing any enemy player positional data until just before an instant of line-of-sight engagement. In simple terms, this means that unless you or your team have any sort of line of sight on the enemy player position, you will not ever see them, you will not know where they're at, and no cheat can detect them because they do not exist in the game yet. The deeper specifics of this system are still being kept under wraps, but we do know it will be used in tandem with the Riot Games' other anti-cheat systems such as Vanguard.
And that is all the industry news we have to cover for this week. I'm Morgan Mulberry.
And I'm Tyler Ralston. This has been the Industry News.
And thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Morgan and Tyler. Really exciting news awaits the industry with the emergence of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. We'll keep that on our radar, and especially next week, we're going to be talking about the PS5 controller and what that looks like and what it does. The DualSense looks fascinating, and hopefully sometime in the near future, we'll be able to see what the PS5 itself looks like. So praying that's in the next few weeks in lieu of E3. So when you think about academics on campus, thinking about gaming as academics might be perceived as a new niche topic, but not for somebody like Dr. Anthony Limperos, who has involved himself in gaming for the better part of his academic career. Ben Brascum caught up with Dr. Anthony Limperos and got to sit down with him and talk about gaming in general and also esports as it relates to campus. So take it away, Ben.
Thanks, Nathan, and hey everyone, this is Ben Brascum. I recently got to speak with Dr. Anthony Limperos of the University of Kentucky about his personal experience with gaming research, as well as the esports phenomenon here on UK's campus. So, with everything going on right now, what, if any, games are you currently playing?
So I, perhaps surprisingly, just got my hands on a PS4. I have 2 young children, and so a lot of my own personal time with video games has been diminished as I spend more time with them. So during this past holiday season, I bought a PS4. So right now I'm playing FIFA 2020.
Nice. I know a lot of people that enjoy FIFA. My roommates used to. They don't as much anymore, so that's pretty neat. So
yeah, it's been a little hiatus for me, so I'm happy to get back in the swing of things.
That's good. So I did some research on you, and you've done some actual research with video games and gaming itself. So I guess just talk about that prior research and why you chose to do it.
So I've always been a game fanatic myself, which sort of that personal passion drives my research interests. So of course, studying in the field of communication, when I first started off years ago, I didn't know it was a possibility to focus on the psychology of video games. So in a nutshell, what I do as a researcher is I look at mostly how tech variants and tech features impact the game playing experience, and that's across pure entertainment contexts, also instructional context, learning, and then also exercise context as well. So a little bit of the health angle. But I've published over 20 manuscripts in the area of video games, mostly focusing on psychology.
Nice. That's actually really interesting. And that kind of answered my next question, so it totally works out well. So how do you feel about the new esports phenomenon that's kind of sweeping over UK's campus right now?
I think it's an incredibly exciting time. And so my experience with esports is rather limited in terms of my own, playing or participating in it. So before we had the esports trend, we had, people like myself and others playing networked games like Halo and others that we would just have fun playing with people across the country and our friends and stuff like that. And now that it's become formalized into esports and UK is investing a lot of time and effort into that, it's incredibly exciting. So I'm just eager to see what it looks like. And in our current situation in the country right now, with not playing any live sports, esports is big. And I think that people are going to start to realize that more and more.
Nice. And I guess just my last question that I have is, how do you feel about the university taking the lead and taking the charge on what feels like esports? It feels like they're kind of being one of the leading lights for all public universities. So how do you feel about that?
It's incredibly exciting. I actually was doing a little bit of research at the beginning of the year to find out just how pervasive esports were at different universities. And I think that there's only 45 universities that have formalized programs. And as you mentioned, a lot of them are niche spots or other places where they have prolific teams. But as far as I know, UK is leading the charge in terms of bigger universities. And I mean, like anything, it's great. I've been on record saying this before, but the fact that UK already commands tremendous brand recognition in the area of sports, and now we're investing in esports is something that I think will undoubtedly be helpful in getting that program started, or that area started, that program started, and getting it off the ground.
Nice. Is there anything else you'd like to add then, or?
I just would want to add that it's interesting because I've also said many times to anybody who will listen that the future of esports is going to depend on how well it can be monetized. So just like anything else, we're looking to have professional gamers, but we're also looking at revenue streams and things like that. It's not all about the money, but if you look at the current situation right now with most of the world and our own country on this sort of stay-at-home orders from government and others, even the NBA, as recently as this past weekend, launched a 2K basketball tournament. And they're televising that through the weekend. And I've been reading all kinds of critical articles about it. And one of the things they said is the players talking to one another while they're playing on TV and having others watch is actually kind of boring. They said it would be better if this discussion was moderated by somebody else, or if there were actually announcers like there is for regular sports. So I think that that's a little microcosm or a little chip of what's to come, because we've been wondering where these audiences are going to come from and will they come in mass. If we have a sport like soccer, they estimate that up to 4 billion people across the globe follow soccer at any given time, right? It's one of the most popular sports out there. If you look at esports, I was looking at recent audience numbers, and they were saying cracking 500 million to 700 million is a massive audience for esports. It's bigger than it's ever been, but it pales in comparison to traditional sports. So I'm just excited to see how this develops, and I think that the current events will probably be a catalyst for not only how it develops, but why we need it. Because people are thirsting for entertainment right now and they can't get it anywhere. Mm-hmm. So I think esports would be a great venue for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Limperos. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time and for interviewing me.
Thank you, Ben. We'll certainly be watching Dr. Limperos' career with great interest. So, 2 years ago, Smash Brothers was the reason to own a Nintendo Switch. I know this personally because my daughter begged for that game, and we brought it into our household, and the 6-year-old kicked our butts with Pokemon. So it was a learning experience. And while the world has moved on to Animal Crossing's currently on the Nintendo Switch as being the go-to game, Kentucky Esports is actually shining bright by smashing the competition nationwide in our backyard. So here's Nic Hughes with more.
What's up? My name is Nic Hughes, also known as Trash Boat in some circles. One of those circles is Super Smash Brothers. I'm sure everyone watching this knows what Super Smash Brothers is. It's Nintendo's crazy popular fighting game. It's been my favorite fighting game since 64, Nintendo 64. And it's got a huge community, globally even. But Lexington and UK also have their own Smash community you might not know about. They're awesome people, super accepting, super willing to help, get you involved if you want to be. And I got to talk to one of them this week. His name's Cameron Jackson. He goes by Kit. He's a sophomore at UK studying ICT, and he kind of shared with me some of the things going on with the Smash community in Lexington and UK, some of the things that have changed with this whole pandemic situation, and how you can get involved going forward and things to look out for. So first off, there are a lot of events, a lot of things that you can attend. There are D20 tournaments Monday nights, that's Ultimate. Waifu Wednesdays is also Smash Ultimate. There's even Tuesday game nights. Now granted, those things are on hold for a little bit right now while people work out some kinks with this whole pandemic situation, which is totally understandable. Waifu Wednesdays actually has already moved to an online format for their tournaments. So that's pretty cool, pretty accessible. Anyone with a Switch and an internet connection can enter that. And if you want to find out how to get involved in these tournaments, just with other players or just find people to play with, the place to look at is the UK Smash Discord. It's a little community where everyone who plays Smash in Lexington and UK kind of can come together, chat, find people to play with, set up some matches, or just talk about anything really, just hang out. It's really cool. That's the main go-to is the Discord. There are people in that community, in that Discord, who helped me when I was first starting out years ago. So I can vouch for how kind they are. So don't be afraid to get an invite, hop in there and just say, hey, I'm looking to play. Whether you want to get better, whether you want to play casually, there's someone there willing to play with you and talk with you. So I highly suggest hitting that up. If you want an invite to that Discord, all you got to do is hit up Cameron Jackson. If you want to find his contact information, go to BBNvolved at UK's site and look up the Esports Club. He's in there. Hit him up. Get an invite to that Discord. Put yourself out there. It's a good time. And it's not just Smash Ultimate. If you've got the hankering to play Melee, that's my poison. They've got people in there who play Melee too. You can set up some net play. Maybe hold off on lagging the CRT around, the big tube TV, 2 events and stuff like that. Maybe wait for this whole thing to blow over. But there are people in there who are willing to help you out. UK Smash community is big. It's only getting bigger. There are players from all skill levels who are willing to play with you. So whatever your goal is, if you're just trying to play Smash, hit up the Discord. Hit up the UK Smash Discord. Find Cameron Jackson. get an invite, hit up me. Find some way to talk to me. I can get you an invite. And we can't wait to see you there. One light in the dark during this whole pandemic for gamers has been the very long-awaited, very much loved Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing for Nintendo Switch sold like 1.88 million copies in the first 3 days of its release, and that's only physical copies. Nintendo doesn't share digital download numbers, so we just have to speculate, but I'm sure that number is crazy high. 91 on Metacritic too. That game is sitting comfy. It's good. Go play it if you can. But back to the game itself. New Horizons has Tom Nook offer you a getaway to a deserted island, and he whisks you away. You get your own island to make whatever you want out of. This game gives you everything you already love about Animal Crossing. The customization, the resource gathering, the neighbors, everything. Plus a slew of new things, new features in this game. And it really can be whatever you want. I know hardcore competitive gamer friends who are maximizing their daily profits, looking up guides, going all out on it, farming, catching the best fish, playing the stock markets, buying those turnips low, selling them high. I also know people who have never played a video game in their life who are just crazy addicted to this game, who wake up every single day, water their flowers, walk around and chat with their neighbors, buy some pretty clothes. It's a sick game. The multiplayer is great too. You can have 8 people at a time from anywhere visit your island. You can go to anyone else's island. There's local multiplayer. You can share your island with anyone else on your Switch that has an account, and you can play it any way you want to. I can't recommend this game enough. Whether you're hardcore at gaming, whether you're super casual, it's for you. It's worth giving a shot. Pick it up between rounds of League of Legends. Pick it up between rounds of COD. Use it to keep yourself sane during quarantine. It's got something for everybody. So if you have the opportunity, treat yourself, check out Animal Crossing. Also, Tom Nook is not a crook. I'm sick of it. He's a great guy. Who else is going to give you a loan? Upfront, no background check. Pay it whenever you want. No interest. Tom Nook never comes knocking. He's a good guy. He took Timmy and Tommy in.
Thanks, Nick, for the report and the information. Much like local legends in the Smash Brothers world, the University of Kentucky is making a footprint of its own to become a leader in technology and in esports. Currently under construction, the Winslow Innovation Hub will house tech-driven innovations for campus, Lexington, and Kentucky communities to explore. The hub will also be the home for the campus esports facility, which I know everybody is very, very excited about. So with the help of Jen G, a California-based esports specialist and team, faculty, staff, and students making the esports initiative a priority to bring communities together is going to be an important goal for the hub. But UK doesn't stop there, though. To further its gaming commitment, Gen.G are actually creating an academic development program, which will bring esports executives, athletes, and content creators, which I know everybody will love, as well as professional and community development programs to campus. That's big news, and that's big stuff. So if you want to keep up to date with all esports and Winslow Innovation Hub news, head on over to uky.edu/esports and look for the giant button that says Get in Touch. Sign up, and we'll keep you informed with all the latest happenings. So there's a lot going on with the Innovation Hub, esports especially. I know students are just pumped over. There's a lot of things that are going to be going on with that, and couldn't be happier that it's actually getting to UK. I mean, that's a big deal. Bringing gaming into the spotlight and bringing communities together, absolutely a big deal. So speaking of happenings, though, we are currently going through an NBA 2K tournament, and Alex Cutadean is here to tell us a little bit more about it. So, Alex, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. Chat's been active. We've got looks like we've got about 25 people. We had a shout out to Anthony Limperos there.
Oh, he needs a shout out. He's a beautiful man. So.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to be talking about the NBA 2K tournament coming up this weekend. We've got it's called the UK Hoops at Home Tournament, refreshed by Coca-Cola, and we're really hoping to fill in that gap where we lost the NCAA tournament. The NBA's on hold, and I'm a big NCAA fan, big UK fan, and the more players we've gotten into the NBA, I've turned into a big NBA fan. So right now I've got this big gap, and I'm not a huge 2K20 player, but I started watching some of the footage and just got super excited. It brought back all the basketball memories that we're kind of missing out on right now. We're watching step backs and crossovers and LeBron dishing to Anthony Davis. And but the cool part about this, it's also a UK event. And
Cool.
So we are really leveraging the community, and we're going to have community celebrities that you're going to recognize, some of which we're not even able to announce yet. But so you got to watch. You got to watch to see who's going to show up. But we're going to have current and former players, and we are also going to have celebrities you'll recognize. Some of the the current athletes we can announce. So we have members of the men's basketball team, Emmanuel Quickley, Zan Payne, and Dante Allen. The women's b-ball team, Dre Edwards, Chastity Patterson. We also have people related to the athletics program, CJ Layton, softball student manager, AJ Harris, who's a men's basketball student manager. And then I've got to mention the hosts. We shot on Tuesday, we shot the selection show with Jeff Eisenband. If you're a 2K fan, you will recognize him from as an NBA 2K League host. And he kicked us off with the selection show, and he's going to lead us off hosting the tournament in the first leg on Friday. We've got the tournament schedule up right now, so we've got that round of 64, 5 p.m. on Friday. That's tomorrow as we are recording this. And if you are a UK esports fan, you'll also recognize the name Erin Ashley Simon, former UK soccer player, UK grad, host of Cheddar Esports, and she's fantastic. So we're super excited. So many people are sheltering in place right now, but I'm excited we get to have this massive event. We get to bring together the UK community in an online space. And I'm really excited. Are you going to be watching, Nathan?
Oh, I absolutely. I've been missing basketball like March and into April. I was hoping we could see UK in the championship this year, but I will take NBA 2K esports any day of the week. After watching like NASCAR, I'm convinced sports online is the way to go. So yes, I'll be spending my Friday enjoying that. So.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'll be there with my baby daughter. We'll probably be watching a little NBA 2K tonight or tomorrow night and through the weekend.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And get her started on basketball early. So
yeah, she's 97th percentile for length right now, so she might be tall.
Well, we could use her on the women's basketball team when she gets older. We'll take her. Well, thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
We'll be watching it. So
take care.
All right. Well, we have completed our first show, and that's it for us today. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. Come back when we have our next show. Our next show for Kentucky Esports Weekly, we're going to talk more about esports news because that is our driving point of it. And we're going to go into the industry and talk a little bit about the PS5 controller that's kind of rippled the news. It's amazing to me that a simple controller and its design has become such a big deal. But there's a lot more to it than just simply the outside look of it, to which people are considering an Xbox controller. But we'll get to that. And we're going to pick the brain of former Machinima and PlayStation, the official magazine editor-in-chief, Rob Smith. He's going to be joining Ben Brascum for an interview, and that should be very interesting. So thank you again for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And you all please stay safe and have a good rest of your day.